Siddharth, should I start?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you who has taken time out to come in this broadcast and listen to us. I know this is a stressful time where everyone is anxious they're worried about what is happening in and around our families, what is the type of precautions we should take, what is the time we should go and meet the doctor, there are various questions we all know in the bank with our that these are the questions which is going on in our minds. So on behalf of HDFC Bank, we today have tied up with a very well-known doctor of your city, Dr. Madaan, who has very gracefully taken time out and on our request, and he would address all of you. He would tell you about all the precautions, what are the things to watch out for, and I would Dr. Madaan, as you all know, he's gone abroad. He's been in the United States for 5 years, and he came back to serve his motherland, to serve his city. He has worked with Apollo and Fortis, and now you all know he's helping in these difficult times, both at the social front also, and and he's helping all the patients in the city of Panipat. And thank you once again, Dr. Madaan. And on HDFC Bank, from HDFC Bank, I would also like to welcome all the participants. We have Mr. Rohit Agarwal, the regional head for retail Forex. He will also, after Mr. Madaan's address, he would like to share his thoughts about the current economic situation and how we can make best use of it on the trade front. Thank you so much, and over to you, Mr. Madaan.
Hi, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak on Corona. I'm really glad कि आज मुझे मौका मिला है मैं आके सबको बता सकूं कि कैसे किस चीज को किस टाइम पे हैंडल करना है. And I know it is a very tough time, and I'm really thankful to HDFC Bank for giving me this opportunity to come up and make people aware. I can see more than 100 people have joined this webinar. Thank you so much, guys, for finding the time. Show that you are interested in knowing more about this virus. So I would like to start immediately because there are two speakers today. So the most important thing about the virus is counting the days. We have to. Sir, is my presentation visible, sir? Is my presentation visible?
Yeah, that's visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Okay, now, like, the initial symptoms, once we get, exposure or infected with the virus, the most important thing is counting the days. If we have sore throat or cough or fever on the first day, that is the first day. If it's cold, that's the first day. We have to take it as first day. So the symptoms can be like, fever, 101, 100, 99, cough, cold. So we have to keep in mind that, this is the first day it has started. The first day is important because if we don't keep a track of the days, then we won't give proper history to the doctor and they won't be able to help us with anything, So this is the time, like, in the first 6 days, the virus tries to multiply in our body, replicates, and that's the most important time for the virus to find its ground, because on all the things which we get inside our house, the polythene, the newspaper, it does not replicate, it does not multiply in those things. It multiplies in our body, so it's inside our body now. We are infectious to other people. So during this time, the drugs which we have to take or we have to keep in mind are ivermectin, doxycycline, azithromycin. What I prefer the most in my personal experience is the budesonide inhaler. It really protects the lungs. That's where it attacks in the second week. And the fever, to control the fever or body aches, paracetamol 500 or 650 is essential. To make us make boost our immunity, we need vitamin C, vitamin D3, B12, and zinc tablets. So most important vitamin is vitamin D. According to me, a lot of research has gone in US and UK, and the whole UK has gone and taken a lot of vitamin D, and they have survived the virus. All the schools have opened over there. They are going to the hospitals. People are working normally. So vitamin D levels are essential. How do you do that? You have to take 60,000 units of vitamin D sachet or liquid available in one go, and take another sachet or liquid in after 2-3 days, then weekly. So that will give you sufficient vitamin D. Now the seventh day or to 11th day, okay, seventh day or I should say sixth and seventh day, it can be anything, are the most important days if somebody is infected with coronavirus. If you're a child or your immune system is very good, and if you did not get too much of infection, virus can almost die and go away. But when the virus goes away, it creates an inflammatory response. We have inflammation. Inflammation is something like sujan ho gayi. Some irritation is going on in the body. That irritation can really affect the lungs. It can affect other areas also. It can cause diarrhea, it can cause fever, it can cause breathlessness. But what kills in corona is the infection in the lungs. So we have to be very particular about the fever. Fever is nothing but the poor man's blood test, which we don't have to go to a lab for. We can just get it at home. We can see if somebody has fever on the seventh day or the sixth day. I even monitor it on the fifth evening. It's a huge warning sign that the inflammation or inflammatory response is going on. If we are in a sophisticated city with sophisticated labs, and they have the efficiency to get the lab tests done in 1 hour, then we can get the CRP test done. What usually sometimes happens is that they take the CRP sample and they send it to some other place or some other place. If the sample is not centrifuged in 1 hour, then the CRP report will be altered, and that will give you high CRP and you get scared. CRP more than 1 is abnormal, and more than 10 signifies COVID. So CRP level of more than 10 can be COVID. We have to keep that in mind. Now what happens on the seventh day? Nothing can happen to you. Sometimes nothing happens, you're fine, you're doing everything fine, everything is good about you. But fever on the seventh day or the sixth day is the most important thing. We have to set an alarm to your doctor, call him. I have fever and it's my day 7. That's the most important thing. If you don't remember anything what I've talked about, just remember fever on 6th and 7th day. Okay, we can save half of India with this line. If we reduce the inflammatory response on the 6th or 7th day, we can save lives. I have a free COVID consultation service all over India. I have saved, not I have, God has, but I have helped people get over their immune response, which could have caused a cytotoxic storm, by controlling the inflammation at the right time. Okay. Now breathlessness is also a symptom. We have a lot of knowledge base on YouTube regarding the 6-minute walk test and other things. I won't get into that. If somebody has access to pulse oximeter and the oxygen saturation is less than 94, it is an alarming sign. So know your baseline. Baseline means how your usually oxygen, how much oxygen percentage of saturation you usually have. Is it 97? Is it 98? Now it's 94, so it's an alarm. Okay. Pneumonia is something like, if you have oxygen saturation less than 94, you are breathless, you have fever, possibly you could have a COVID, you could have pneumonia due to COVID. So that's the most important thing which kills people. And once the inflammatory response overpowers you, you end up looking for cylinders, making calls in different hospitals that I am this and I am that, and I know this politician, you have to give me a bed, I have insurance, sorry, we have no beds, we have no oxygen cylinders. So how to get over things at the right time and start the right treatment? This is the most important slide, or one of the most important slide, and a myth breaking slide, I would say, is that if you have fever of more than 100 or 100 and feeling a lot of weakness and your oxygen saturation is going below 94, 93, something is wrong with you. You have to speak with your doctor. If he advises you to take steroid, which is the life-saving medicine, I would like to make sure and make a note of this, that I did not start steroids in the first week of illness. Okay, I would advise in severe cases to start steroids in the second week, that is sixth or seventh day, because it's no hard and fast rule that sixth day or seventh day. Reason being, sometimes we misinterpret our days. Okay, and the virus can fluctuate. Sometimes it can give an inflammatory response a little earlier also. So dexamethasone, this was the only proven study done in United States which was shown that it can decrease mortality and can save lives. All the other things we give, like other medicines like ivermectin, have research based documentation, but the real documentation, or the large amount of documentation, was about dexamethasone, and methylprednisolone also helps in this. And people who have high risk factors like diabetes and valve replacements, and you can say other patients who have got stent placement, they are high risk patients, and uncontrolled diabetics, controlled diabetics, they are high risk patients, so they have to be on anticoagulants if there are risk factors for that. And paracetamol 500 or 650, whichever dose your doctor advises, is a good thing to keep, because we have to bring the fever down. If the fever is not coming down, it's not getting controlled, then you can take mefthalfort also. It's another tablet. Vitamins are always advised to be taken: vitamin C, D3, vitamin B complex, and zinc tablets. So this is so the most important thing I would like to stress a million times is, on the seventh day, please watch for fever and oxygen saturation. These are the two things which you can do at home. Now, what happens on 12th to 15th day? Sometimes nothing at all, you recover. The virus usually leaves your body around 8th or 9th or 10th day, something like that. Okay, around that time virus is gone. But what happens is, it creates an inflammatory response. It leaves with an inflammatory response. It sets your whole body on fire. Sometimes we have the energy to fight it out, sometimes we don't. So sometimes when people don't take proper treatment, they don't start the treatment on the seventh day with steroids, then we have a huge amount of problem. 50% of our lungs are affected, sometimes more. Then we have to depend on oxygen cylinder. Recovery can take longer time. So if we are not treated on time, then we'll have fever still, which will be mild. We can have cough. So this recovery will take time. Which are the preferred medicines? Again, vitamins never stop, paracetamol as and when required if we are cured. But if you're not cured and you might have to stay in a hospital with oxygen, you might need to go on a ventilator. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding coronavirus or COVID-19 patients, or the relatives have any questions, please free to call me on these numbers. These are simple to remember: 999 1947, the day, the year our great country got independence, and 911, which is the emergency number of US. Then 999 1947 666. That's the WhatsApp number. You can send me your reports, everything. I'll check it free of cost. I'll get back to you if I can advise you, or I'll tell you what to do next. Okay. Now, is the vaccination going to protect me? Is the vaccination going to protect me? Yes, definitely it's going to protect you. So try to get vaccinated. Definitely it's going to protect you. It is needed. It is required. So don't hesitate that, will I have fever? Will I, develop the virus? Consult your doctor if you have doubts. Clear your doubts and get vaccinated. A lot of people who were asking me earlier, no, I prefer Covaxin. I think I prefer Covishield. It's AstraZeneca, UK. No, whatever vaccine you get hold of, just get it. Right now people are finding it tough to get it. Just get themselves registered online on COVID. They're having a very hard time. So let's not do things in a way that, you know, which about which we have to think that, oh, I should have done it, I missed it out. You know, so it's important, get the vaccination over with as soon as possible, and don't try to be pricey and, you know, choosy, pick and choose that I want this and I want that. Whichever you get hold of it, get vaccinated, get some protection, follow the protocol. And is the mask going to protect me? Yes, it is going to protect me. Most important, the mask is for high risk workers like the healthcare workers. N95. If you don't have N95, you can have a surgical mask. You can have two surgical masks on your face. They'll protect you a lot. So mask and vaccines are a must. Sanitization, we all know how to do it. uh, you know, whatever stuff you receive from outside, you have to sanitize it with a sanitizer. If you leave it alone for 1 day or 2 days, the virus will die automatically and you can use it after that. So that's one more important thing. Now, what are the most important things to monitor if the tests are not available near you? This is a $1,000,000 slide. Remember, add seventh day or sixth evening with it. Okay, sixth day or the seventh day. If you have oxygen saturation, if it is less than 94, you have to set an alarm to your doctor. Doctor, do I need steroids? Are you sure my oxygen is going down? Do I need steroids or not? Please tell me. You have to ask your doctor, you have to bug your doctor, or if you don't want to bug anybody else, bug me. Okay, this is important. If you have fever on the seventh day, if you can't get your CRP done, even if you can get your CRP done, your oxygen is going down, your fever is going up, you have to get on the steroids according to your weight, uh, according to your weight basically, and with the advice of your doctor. If you try to self-medicate with steroids, that end up that will be very harmful for you, because I've seen a lot of people getting starting a dose of 4 milligrams of methylprednisolone, 8 milligrams. Some people say, no, I want to take only 16 milligrams because that's my choice. If I take too much of steroid now, they'll give me mucormycosis. That's what the news channels are telling me. No, that will kill you later. If you have lung pneumonia, that will kill you first. It's important to know the days of the inflammation, when it's going to start. It's going to start on day 6th or 7th, depending on the days, how you're counting them, right or not. And that your doctor will analyze how it's going. Okay, so this is the most important slide. If you don't remember anything what I've said, just remember this. This is going to solve a lot of your problems, our problems. This is going to save lives if we monitor the days of our illness and we see how much oxygen saturation we had earlier, how much we have now. Plus we can supplement it with the 6-minute walk test, the duration of you know, you can see like how much your oxygen saturation is going down. What are the important tests which are available near you if you can monitor them? RT-PCR, if you have symptoms, I won't recommend getting it done. If you want it, you can get it, but if it's negative and if you have symptoms, you won't, I won't say that it is not corona. If it's outside my window, it's raining, okay, I don't have to see the weather report on Aaj Tak channel whether it's raining or not. It's raining, it's raining. If you have sore throat, if you have cold, if you have fever, if you have body ache, all 3 or 4 of them together on day 1 and day 2, it is corona, nothing else. I don't have to think, no, I can't have corona. I have typhoid. I have typhoid for sure. I can never have, this can't happen to me. I'm James Bond. No, it can happen to anybody. One more thing, I'll just interrupt and say something. A lot of people question me that, you know, people who are great doctors had 2 vaccinations and they were so good in advising everybody. They all died on us all of a sudden. How come? What's the use of vaccination? What's the use of that? No, we doctors or the doctors in the ICU who regularly, you know, have 20 hours duties in the government ICU or, you know, in private these days because of the overburden. Some people are giving 12 hours duties also, which when I was in Apollo, I used to give 6 hours duty in the ICU. Okay, I think some good hospitals have very good protocols still, but they have overload of, you know, exposure to the virus, so they have higher viral load in spite of being vaccinated. So that's why once you have vaccines, you're vaccinated, It's important to take precautions. It does not give you immunity automatically, that okay, now I have antibodies because thanks to the vaccination I have taken, I am immune, I can do whatever I want, I can roam around on the bike, I can go to the PVR and watch movies and have popcorn. No, you have to have precautions, you have to take precautions, you have to put the mask on, you have to use the sanitizer, you have to keep social distancing. That's the only way you can protect it. Why certain doctors were not protected? Majorly because they were overburdened with work of COVID positive patients, and they were helping a lot of people with different strains a lot of time throughout the day. That's the reason. So for them, distancing did not work out. They had more than 15 minutes exposure in the ICU, obviously. On the rounds, they were analyzing the ventilator support, the oxygenation, the urine output. It takes time. So that's the reason. People say, some people, I received a WhatsApp, you should do whatever you want to do, because people who have two vaccinations and are great doctors, they die on us. No problems. I'll also die one day. Nothing doing. You have to die responsibly. Doctors who sacrificed their lives in spite of two vaccinations, they died saving patients, but they were exposed to high virus, exposure of different strains, and they were not able to keep distancing because of the nature of the job. But I will advise you to take precautions and don't ignore things that, if I do this, it won't be successful. You have to follow something. That is very important. Now let's get back to the topic. The test which can be done near you, RT-PCR. Some people have the anxiety. I have sore throat. I have everything which Corona has. But what if I'm RT-PCR negative? I think I don't have Corona. You have Corona, my friend. Everybody has Corona in the country. More than four, like if every other person, your Dudwala, everybody has it. You have to think in that time frame, that kind of frame of mind. You have to protect yourself. Okay. If you have symptoms, you have Corona. Now, which is the cheapest and the best test available? CRP is the best test. If it is more than 1, it is high. If it is more than 10, it is not good. There's high chance of corona. You have to monitor it. You have to talk to your doctor about it. And if it is more than 30, it is bad. If it is less, if it is sorry, if it is more than 30, it is bad. And if it is more than 100, it is extremely bad. Now, a lot of talks are going on about anticoagulating therapy, which is like nothing but blood thinners, which we sometimes used to give to heart attack patients for reducing the clot formation. For that, D-dimer test is done. If it is more than 500, then there is clotting going on somewhere and platelet count is down. And we do these tests in high-risk patients like diabetes, hypertension, people with coronary heart disease, stent placement, other patients. And CT scan, on CT scan, if you do your CT scan before 5 days, it might not come positive at all. Plus, most of the CT scan centers make sure they take precautions about the sanitizing the place where you lie down, and ask them to do the scan. It is important. Any score on the CT scan, like if it shows pneumonia, like more than 8 or more than 16, it's not good. Can't ignore that. So you have to speak with your doctor. If you go and get your CT and it shows a score of more than 16, it is not good. 18 is worse, and you still can't ignore any score on your CT scan which shows a pneumonia. Now, in whom you should avoid steroids in COVID-19 patients? Patients with TB and HIV, immunocompromised patients, you have to avoid. Don't avoid steroids in diabetics, but aggressively control the blood sugar in diabetics. But if they have a low oxygen saturation or high fever, then you have no other alternative but giving steroids at the right dose. Now, a few words on the black fungus. It is mainly seen in the ICU patients who are on oxygen therapy or on home oxygen for long duration, or on long duration of steroids. Like if suppose, let me come with the example of oxygen support first. We give oxygen support in the ICU. We give supplemental oxygen. They have a humidifier container which has distilled water in it. Because of the overload in the ICUs and the wards all over the country, what happens sometimes that people don't clean the distilled water inside. Sometimes they end up filling it with tap water or some other water, and then we have spores developing. We see spores developing in it of mucormycosis or fungus. Mucormycosis does not infect us right now because or earlier 2 years before, because our immunity was very good. Now the coronavirus kind of shakes our immunity a lot. The whole immunity gets shaken off. That's when we are at high risk with mucormycosis, famously known as the black fungus. Okay. uh, so a lot of people are blaming steroids also. I would say that is totally that is partially true. If somebody starts taking steroids on the first day, then he increases his risk. If steroids are given for duration of 10 days or 5 days and stopped abruptly, I don't think so there is a risk for mucormycosis which is increased, because people have to first survive the viral pneumonia in the lungs because of COVID-19, then they have to worry about mucormycosis or fungus, black fungus. So this is the main thing which I wanted to convey in this talk. If you have any questions, just feel free to call on these numbers. This was the presentation I had prepared in a rush to make spread awareness about COVID-19 virus. If you have any questions, you can personally call me on these numbers. The 666 number is the WhatsApp number. 911 is the direct calling number. But you can call on either numbers if you have any questions, doubts, or concerns about COVID. You can share your reports with me. You can, have any other confusion about vaccination, please call and ask me. If you disagree with something and want to give me some advice, you're most welcome on that. I basically go for evidence-based medicines, and that's why there is a strong evidence about steroids being started on the 6th and 7th day, and it has saved a lot of lives in the UK. But ours is a different country with a lot of population, so a lot of people are not able to get sufficient amount of medical care on phone also. So I have come in contact with a lot of people with whom I have started steroids on phone, and their saturation has improved tremendously. So the initial phase, if we control the virus in the initial phase with the help of the doctor and the right dosage of steroids and taper them and stop them on time, this is the most important thing you have to think of, because only way it can kill you is through your lungs. It does not kill you when it goes to your GI tract, it causes diarrhea only. Okay, it does not kill you if it goes anywhere else. It only kills you when it goes in your lungs and does not allow you to breathe and reduces your oxygen supply and suffocates you. So for that, to prevent that, it's very important. One more thing: people who are asthmatic or who have, they can take budesonide inhaler at home. That is also protective to the lungs, and it has shown in research studies that people who had asthma or COPD and were on inhalers already, even though they got infected with coronavirus, the hospitalization rate in them was very less, because their lungs had full capacity and support, and they were on inhaled steroids which are given in micrograms. So it's a very little dose to protect your lungs. You have to just take the inhaler and then do gargles and remove the remaining steroid from your throat, and the remaining has gone in your lungs, so you're protected. So this was the main stress about timing is very important, whether it's anything in life. If you do things on time, you are successful. So just start marking your days, which is my day 1, which is my day 2, today is my day 4. Doctors, how my patients call me on follow-up. So I get calls all over the country. Even in Panipat, people call me. Different parts of the country call me. How they tell me, okay, today is my day 8th and my fever is this, my oxygen is okay. and these are the drugs I'm taking. My steroid day 3 is going on. So my target is to start weaning the steroid dose on 4th day or 5th day, and then stop it completely by 9th or 10th day. Okay, so don't worry about awareness is the most important thing. Don't worry too much. Try to be aware of things, how things are done, how things can be prevented. The other most important thing which can be life-saving is the anticoagulants, the low molecular weight heparin injections which are given subcutaneously on the advice of the doctors once a day can be life-saving to prevent clots, but they have to be taken under the supervision of the doctor. So that's all I would like to say, and I would like to thank HDFC Bank again for giving me this opportunity to spread awareness among more than 150 people online right now. I feel this was a great opportunity, and I would look forward to more opportunities like that, like this in future if I get a chance to do this. Thank you so much, sir. Um, I'm glad I was given this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab, for taking out time and very patiently explaining everything to all our guests. And thank you. We will keep on troubling you, and we will take your help in other camps also for other areas. And when I'm there, I'll definitely come and see you up also, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Now we would request Rohit. So Rohit, now you can take it forward from here.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, great. So good evening, everyone. And Dr. Saab, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. And I'm sure many of the patients and many of the customers will benefit out of it. Now, coming on to the session that we want to just brief you about, that is international trade in Forex that we are doing in HDFC Bank. Now, in this particular thing, we will talk about what are the services that we offer in trade in Forex, the basic RBI guidelines for import and export, then the digital solution, since during the COVID time, it is not possible for all the importers and exporters to physically visit the branches and submit the documents. So we have a facility available for online digital platforms, even for individuals who want to send money abroad for their kids studying abroad and some relatives abroad. There are online solutions that as a bank we have come up with. So just take you through in a small session wherein we'll just brief you about the facilities that we are offering. Now we offer all international trade and forex products. Maybe it is import, export, bank guarantees, EFC conversions, FDIs, OCB, miscellaneous remittances, individual remittances, foreign currency cash sale and purchase, forex cards, and hedging solution. Hedging has become more important of late to cover the risk for both importers as well as exporters. Now, why should we choose HDFC Bank for trade in Forex? In trade in Forex, we have services which is available at all branches. Unlike nationalized bank, which have dedicated branches, we offer Forex services in all our branches. Then we have expert team handling trade transactions at various trade desks, and skilled trade sales managers are available. Then we have a strong correspondent bank arrangement across the globe, dealing in 19 currency, which is highest among all the banks. We deal in Chinese currency also for import through China. Then we have digital FX solution, which is we call Trade on Net, through which you can do the Forex transactions. Then we have auto emailing of SWIFT and advisors. Then we also monitor regulatory compliance of exporters and importers so that they do their timely reporting to avoid any regulatory actions. Now let's share you with the key RBI guidelines for import and export, wherein RBI has introduced a comprehensive IT-based system called Export Data Processing and Monitoring System, which is called ADPMS. Then, as well as Import Data Processing and Monitoring System, which is called IDPMS for importers. It helps in monitoring the pendencies, the imports and exports being done by the customers. It is visible to RBI, it is visible to AD banks as well as the customs also. So in exports, the one of the important regulation that is to realize the repatriation, realize and repatriate the full value of export proceed within 9 months. So if you have done an export today, then within 9 months you should ensure that your payment is available in your account and you are able to realize that payment. Though during pandemic, RBI gave certain relaxation for 15 months for the export made up to 31st July 2020. And then another important point that all exporters needs to keep in mind is to submit the export documents, which is invoice, soft text, transport document, shipping bill in the bank. Once they have the payment with them, payment receipts is there, then they should immediately submit those documents for BRC issuance to avoid any regulatory action or getting caution listed. This is the point that many exporters are missing. They have to be chased for submission of documents. I urge and request that all the exporters should timely submit as it will enhance their regulatory compliance and avoid any penal action from the regulatory authorities. Then if an exporter has received an advance payment and shipment is not done within 1 year from the date of receipt, then it must be refunded. The money should be refunded with the buyer to the foreign buyer within 1 year. Else, if it is more than 1 year, then RBI approval is required for the same. Now, looking at some of the import regulations which are important, one of the important item is bill of entry that every importer should submit to the AD bank not later than 6 months from the date of shipment. It is mandatory to submit the bill of entry to the AD bank for closure of pendency. There are many customers which even do personal import, like for medicine import. There are courier bill of entries. They should submit to the AD bank, otherwise it will keep standing against their name and it will be visible to customs, to RBI and to AD bank, and you will be always on the regulatory radar. Then AD banks, that is the banks can grant extension of time for settlement of import dues up to a period of 6 months. That is, if your shipment is delayed, then you can take permission from your AD bank to extend the time period for realization of shipment and submission of bill of entry. Then such extension should be on account of disputes of quality and quantity and non-fulfillment of terms of contracts, and it will be basis with certain underlying document which is explainable. Then customer, we have recently come up with a custom duty payment through SBI. We have tied up with the SBI through our using our eNet and net banking platform. The importers can make custom duty payment to the custom for their consignment. There is an easy process that is being made. You can get in touch with your branches for better availability of the details about how to make the custom duty payment. Now in the digital solution, which is becoming a necessity in the current crisis, that you don't need to go to branches for submission of your documents. We have eNet. It is an advanced platform for managing all the domestic payments. Then we have Trade on Net, which is a platform for making your international trade payments, importers payments, miscellaneous outward remittances, and export bill settlements. Then we have Trade on Mobile. A mobile app is being created through which the authorizers, the owners can authorize the transactions inputted by their accountants or the managers who are handling the trade transaction in their offices. We have also recently come up with the bank guarantee online, wherein customer doesn't need to visit the branch to submit the documents. By going online, they can upload the documents and submit the required details online, and the BG can be issued from the branch and can be collected from the branch. Another important online digital solution that we have is Remit Now. It is for the resident individuals. It helps in making foreign outward remittances at their own convenience through net banking, through which they can make outward remittances under LRS category of RBI for 12 purposes to their near and dear ones and for education purposes, etc. These applications help in multiple authorization matrix, so that you have balances and checks for authorization, so there is no fraud happening. Email alerts are sent to client at various stages. Then transaction status, where is your transaction at current moment, can be viewed online real time. Then it is integrated with mobile applications for mobile authorization for approvals. Then there is availability of swift messages and debit advices available online. Then in exports, in digital solution, the shipping bills and inward remittances will be uploaded based on the IC code of the company, and customer would be able to link the outstanding shipping bill, the inward remittances, upload the supporting documents to clear their submission of shipping bills online and getting the BRC. Similarly, all imports remittances can be uploaded online, and it will be done from a backend. Accordingly, miscellaneous A2 remittances for business travel royalty payments can be done online through our platform, which is called Trade.net. In short, it is TON. Then EFC conversion can also be done through this facility. This for exporters. It will help in online payment transfers immediately. Then the remit now for resident individuals, as I told, $250,000 is allowed per financial year for per resident individual. We have got this facility enabled in your net banking under fund transfer option. You can add your beneficiary. Suppose your kids are studying abroad, you want to send them money for their maintenance. You can add them as a beneficiary with their overseas bank details and make the payment under 12 purposes of LRS anytime during the day, and up to, for one transaction, the maximum limit per day is 25,000 USD equivalent. So you can do 10 transactions, but the maximum amount in a day is allowed is $25,000. Then this facility is available in 19 currencies. Similarly, we are also running one promotional offer of full value for USD remittances across the globe till 30th June, in which wherever you want to send your USD remittances outside India, there are intermediary charges which used to get debited. We are offering by our global tie-ups that transaction free of charge till 30th June as a promotional offer, in which full value, suppose you want to transfer $10,000, entire amount will be reaching to the beneficiary through our full value option. So these are the some of the options and the facilities, digital solution that as a bank we like to offer to our esteemed customers, which they can take benefit of, and ensure that they are safe and staying at their offices, at their homes, and doing the business smoothly by using our online transactions and facilities that as a bank that we offer. We thank you for listening to us patiently and for attending our this session and webinar. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, please do let us know. You can contact your relationship manager and your nearest branch also. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू रोहित, यानी डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए, क्योंकि या थैंक्स रोहित इस चीज को पूरा सही तरह बताने के लिए, क्योंकि आज के सिनेरियो में देयर इज अ नीड ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट और एंड इंपोर्ट आल्सो। तो आप घर बैठे कैसे हम इसको, जैसा प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो चल रहा है, कोविड सिचुएशन चल रही है, नो वन इज गोइंग आउटसाइड, so in this scenario how we can do digitally. So thank you for describing in this once again.
Thank you
And also I will request to everyone, please, जैसा सिचुएशन अभी चल रही है, we have to focus on digitization. जो डिजिटली हम कर सकते हैं we have to उसको करना चाहिए, क्योंकि आज के सिनेरियो में प्रिकॉशन इज बेटर देन क्योर। तो जितना आप प्रिकॉशंस लेंगे, जितना आप डिजिटली अपने आप को टेक से भी बनाएंगे, उतना ही आपको बेनिफिट है, क्योंकि देयर विल बी नो फिजिकल इंटरेक्शंस एंड ऑल थिंग्स आर पॉसिबल नाउ थ्रू डिजिटली आल्सो। देयर इज नो नीड फॉर दैट वी आर गोइंग आउटसाइड एंड अपने आप को हम रिस्क में अननेसेसरी का रिस्क में यानी डालें, जो चीज आप घर बैठ के फिजिकली कर सकते हैं। सो माय रिक्वेस्ट कि हम इसको अपने आप को सेफ रखें और अपना काम, वी शुड नॉट hedge up with our यानी दिस ट्रांजैक्शंस आल्सो। सो एंड HDFC बैंक definitely it's for digitization only, that every time it is giving new opportunity how we can go forward with digitally. So thank you, Rohit,
Right.
for describing. And once again, we are thankful to Dr. Saab for डिस्क्राइबिंग कि जो आजकल मिथ्या चली हुई है कि कोविड में ये चीजें हमें करनी चाहिए, यह चीजें, बट देयर इज नो, यानी कि यू कैन से कि कोई उनका साइंटिफिक नहीं है, बट वट एवर डॉक्टर साहब हैज टोल्ड टुडे, दे हैव टोल्ड साइंटिफिकली व्हाई वी हैव टू अडॉप्ट दिस एंड हमें क्या करना चाहिए। और हम सभी यानी कामना करते हैं कि सभी स्वस्थ रहें, अपना स्वास्थ्य अच्छा रखें और किसी को भी इस चीज की जरूरत ना पड़े, जो चीज यानी कि हम ये जो महामारी अभी फैली हुई है, सो एवरीवन शुड बी सेफ फ्रॉम दिस पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन। सो विद ऑल ऑफ दिस वी से थैंक यू एंड यही कामना करते हैं कि सब यानी स्वस्थ रहें और यानी कि जैसा अभी सिचुएशन है इसको वी विल ओवरकम एंड विल हैव ए great health and wealth with everyone. Thank you from my side.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jasdeep sir, anything you want to say? I think he's not there, but on the behalf of HDFC Bank, we are once again thank you, Dr. Anant, for sparing his time, and Rohit for describing digitally environment on trade effects. So thank you everyone. If anyone is having any question, if he wants to have Dr. Saab वैसे भी टेलीफोनिकली जो फ्री कंसल्टेशन इज गिविंग, तो एनीवन उनको अपना नंबर भी शेयर किया है, so anyone can get this opportunity or can discuss with them. So thank you Siddharth, thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks to everyone.